If you like Star Wars comic books, you have clicked on the right video. David with Beyond the Blast Doors with you. I'm doing my final comic book haul of 2017. I've seen a lot of people do this, and I figure, why not I do it? So if you like the Star Wars 40th anniversary variant covers, if you like the action figure variant covers, if you want to see some really neat books from 2015, I've got all that here and more. So before we go any further, give me a thumbs up down below if you don't mind. Hit the subscribe button if you have not already. Trying to get to 500 subscribers. It's a mad dash. We're trying to do it in under a year. We started this past April, and it's been a lot of fun. And so we're going to continue the fun in this video. And I'm going to start right now with Dr. Aphra number 10. And if in case this is the first time you are seeing me do a haul video, just know that I'm going to show you the book right here. And then I'm going to drop down to a second camera so that way you can see the art better and maybe have a better understanding of why I picked this book up. But a lot of these books, common sense really why I grabbed them, either great covers or good stories. I got these books from 4 different LCSs in St. Louis. So this is just a conglomerate of a haul right here. It's 4 mini hauls crammed into one. But you're looking at Dr. Aphra number 10. This is by Kieran Gillen, and the art's by Kev Walker, but the cover is by Casper Wingard. And it's a really fun story. I'm hit or miss with Dr. Aphra. It's a character that I just don't really identify with. A lot of people do, and that's great. I picked this book up because of that cover. Darth Vader looks very menacing in Docking Bay 94. Millennium Falcon is the background. A very iconic scene in Star Wars lore in that original 77 film. And when I saw this, I just had to pick it up. So that's my first book. Second book, same with the Star Wars 40th Anniversary variant covers. And I've got several of these. I think I have maybe somewhere between like 6 and 9. I didn't really count them up, but this is Star Wars 32. Talk about an iconic scene. This is the Millennium Falcon blasting out of Mos Eisley Spaceport, and just a really stunning cover. I love the stormtroopers in the forefront, a little cartoonish. I really enjoy it. This was the run at the time written by Jason Aaron, art by Salvador Larroca. You'll now know that Kilton Gillian has taken over the Star Wars run, just shy of issue 40. But the cover here is by Will Robinson. I'm a real big fan. You know, I think of artists that I've encountered over the last year doing these comic book hauls, because I used to just collect, like, you know, month to month, and now I'm always looking for, you know, a really cool Star Wars cover. Will Robinson, I should say, is another artist that I am now looking for in particular because of what I've seen here with his work. Same goes for Scotty Young. I didn't know who Scotty Young was until I picked up a couple Lando variants. So this is actually the Screaming Citadel Part 4. It's my least favorite Star Wars comic book ever, but I love that cover. So there you go. A little background history of me and a little knowledge about the book. But not much. Why? Because Screaming Citadel just might not be worth your time. But if you like fantasy and science fiction and force-sucking vampires, then more power to you. Go get it and go enjoy it, because you deserve that. You know, I'm not going to tell you what you should and should not enjoy. That's a fun thing about comics, movies, and really anything. It's all subjective. You get to like what you like. You get to don't like what you don't like. Pretty fair. Star Wars number 34. This is cool. Daniel Acuna on the cover here. This is our band of, well, at this point, they're not technically rebels. They're just kind of like misfits. But they're on the Death Star, blasting their way down the prison block. And art here, the cover, Daniel Acuna, like I said, just a sweet cover. I'm a big fan. You know, and it goes to the thing that I said earlier, which is I love the variety in the comics. The great thing about this 40th anniversary run is you get to see artists that you followed in different runs, whether that's Marvel or elsewhere. And you get to see their take on Star Wars. And so it's almost like a watercolor approach that Daniel Acuna took to this. And I really enjoy it. It's really satisfying, and it's vastly different from the first 2 covers that I just showed you. So in this book, I mean, just a little background, it is Star Wars 34. This is where Sana and Lando team up. This is an issue that I took some time out, I'm going to say like 12 episodes ago. It had to be longer than that. It was kind of near the very beginning of the channel where we talked about this kind of, you know, side story where Lando teams up with Sana, and they're, you know, doing a few activities on Coruscant. Don't want to give too much away, but they eventually do team up with Han and Chewie, and you kind of get that kind of cool reunion. So that's a fun book. Check it out. Find it. If you can find it, I would say pick it up. And we'll stay in the cell block, in the prison detention level at least, because number 35 takes us right there with Leia blasting the stormtroopers in the opposite direction. And I think that's a great perspective. I, again, head over heels with this book, or else why would I have picked it up? Amy Reeder is the cover artist on this book, and I love it. It's really fun. And this is a follow up to the previous issue, right? So Sana and Lando are doing their thing. Han and Chewie are doing some smuggling runs now. And so just a really fun book. And, it's always fun when you can go out into the wild and you can find that back-to-back issue. I found 34 and 35. That's always really satisfying. Next book I have for you is Star Wars 37, one of my favorite moments in Star Wars ever, when Vader strikes down Obi-Wan Kenobi. And this is a great cover by Greg Smallwood. And the story, it's kind of funny because, even though these covers are so cool, so iconic, and they're all about A New Hope or that original 77 film, however you want to refer to it, the story inside the book has nothing to do with these covers. And I feel like that's a very duh statement. But I just want to remind you, they're completely unrelated. Scar Squadron is in full force in this issue for a very deadly attack run. Scar Squadron is like this band of Imperial Stormtroopers. I'm very mixed. I just don't understand why Stormtroopers need a cape. The armor. What is the cape going to do? Is the cape going to give you more insulation? Shouldn't the armor give you the insulation? Maybe I'm just being a little too nitpicky. Okay, that's fine. I need to calm down. That's fine. Number 37. So this is still issue 37, and this is the Rebel Commander action figure cover, and this is the John Tyler Christopher variant. Really like his work, and I've mentioned it before. I have a cover by JTC, as I'll say for short, because I'm cool like that. If he watches this video and he's cool with it, John, I would ask you to comment down below and tell me that you approve. That's just not going to happen. John Christopher, though, is really cool. I have one of his Mace Windu variants. It was one of 3,000 he did. I saw a Twitter post with Samuel L. Jackson holding this comic book, and he's like, buy this book. I'm like, yes. So I bought that book, and I've been hooked to these these action figure covers ever since. So Star Wars 37, this is the Rebel figure variant. Pretty cool. So you had just seen number 37, the 40th anniversary edition. Here's your figure version as well. Number 20 of Poe Dameron, a white X-Wing. Just kind of white it out. Fun run here. I go back and forth with this. There are some issues that I've really enjoyed, especially when Poe is clashing directly with the First Order. This is number 20, like I said. It's written by Charles Soule, which, if you know by now, I am obsessed with his work. The new Darth Vader run is awesome. I think there's a book in here on that. I could be wrong. He has just done a tremendous job with that run. He's here on this Poe Dameron run. He did the Obi-Wan and Anakin mini-series. It was a 5-issue run very early on. I believe that was here in 2017. Very early run. It was 5 issues. They go to this weird planet, battle a bunch of weird animals. It was kind of bizarre, but it was very cool to see Anakin and Obi-Wan in the Jedi Temple, so that was a fun story there. Cover here, Brian Level does the work, and the whole story here is that Leia has given Poe a very important task, which seems to be the plot of a lot of stories in Star Wars, especially if you've seen The Last Jedi. But this is actually setting up Force Awakens, because the mission is to go find Laura Santeca. So a fun book here, a fun story, and like I said, my interest with the series goes in and out. It's not a bad series. I'm just not that emotionally invested in Poe right now. So if you like Poe Dameron, if you think he's cool, if you dig his piling abilities, go check that one out for sure. This is Star Wars number 38, 40th anniversary cover. Tripping over my tongue. Oh my gosh. Chris Anka is Anka is the cover artist here, and number 38. This is written by Kieran Gillen. Okay, so he has started the run, and his first arc is the Ashes of Jedha. His first issue here, and it's really a fun trip. I liked this first issue for sure because it's the Rebel Alliance going to the planet of Jedha. You get some throwbacks to Rogue One, but you also get a sense of where the story is going forward towards Empire Strikes Back. So really fun there. And, Kieran was so successful with that 2015 Darth Vader run that I definitely encourage you to check out this book. You can tell the tone shift in the writing in the first few panels. So it's really enjoyable, really refreshing. So check that one out. Number 36, Leia Organa action figure variant. God, she's pretty, isn't she? My gosh, this was This was the Leia that I fell in love with, was Empire Strikes Back. But yeah, this is a cool cover here. John Tyler Christopher on that cover, and this is the issue where 3PO has been captured by the Empire. So an interesting concept there that there's been a few run-ins with the Empire and C-3PO over the span of that original trilogy era. So now I'm going to throw it back here. And if you've been watching the channel for, well, since we began in April, you know that I'm a really big fan of Darth Vader, and it took me some time to come around to the idea or I said Vader, but I meant Maul. That was strange. I was like looking at the cover, and I said Vader. I think I said Vader. I don't even remember what I just said. Let's try that again. I'm a big fan of Darth Maul, and I'm a real big fan of how they brought him back in the cartoon. I was a little skeptical, because I like the idea of the Force, but I don't really like the idea of magic in Star Wars. Well, Star Wars, Clone Wars, and Rebels changed my mind on that entirely, because we got a lot more of a fleshed out story with Darth Maul. So, I'm going to show you this comic book. Darth Maul. This is 4A, the variant, the B variant, 1 in 25 retailer incentive. And Cullen Bunn is the artist on this. And the cover here is Francesco Francavilla. Francavilla. I'm not saying that right. But I knew Francesco. I mean, I feel bad because he's Italian. Like, I'm Italian. Like, I think he's Italian, or is he Spanish? Oh, man, this is going terribly, terribly wrong. But just look at the cover. It looks pretty, right? And that's all that matters. It's a really fun story. And I've been talking about the Darth Maul miniseries for a long time because I think it might be the best that came out in 2017 here, the Darth Maul run. 5 issues. He's trying to kill a Jedi apprentice, and it doesn't go as planned. And it's a nice story to give you a little background of the relationship between Maul and Sidious prior to the Phantom Menace. So I hope that you did learn something about this book, even after my few stumbles there. So that's Darth Maul number 4. Here's another number 4 cover here. This is the D cover. This is done by Elsa Charretier, and I'll show you that book here. Really gorgeous cover. I really enjoy it, and I'm going to flip this back here real quick because I just want to make sure. I always doubt myself with this cover. I do like the shadow play. Sometimes I think it's just part black, part red. Just that was the motif of the thing. But there is shadowing, and I've talked about it before. The covers that I get really attracted to, that I feel like I need to pick up, are always some kind of play with the shadow. There are a couple Vader comics from 2017 that did this really successfully. I think of number 9, Vader number 9, with Jocasta Nu and Vader dueling in that cover. There's a great shadow effect on Vader and Jocasta Nu, as well as the glow from the saber blades. Well, right here, you get a really cool, shadow effect there on the one side. And yeah, I really enjoy it. So Darth Maul number 4, variant D. This is number 5. I have Maul variants up the wazoo. This was the number 5 variant, and the cover here is by Terry Dodson, who's, I think, as far as what I've learned in the comic book community here on YouTube, Terry Dodson, very respected. I think his art is really cool. And 1 in 25 retailer incentive. Again, this is the Bunn series that he wrote. Luke Ross did the art for the series overall, but again, the cover here done by Dodson. And you get a lightsaber fight with a Jedi apprentice and Darth Maul, who is essentially a Sith apprentice. So, very fun ending to this miniseries. I thought it was satisfying, and this was out, I felt burnt from Screaming Citadel. So, to get this run, to be able to go back to this run was really enjoyable. I believe this Darth Maul run did come out, I want to say before Screaming Citadel, but it might have been after. I'm having a moment of air in my head. I can't really remember which one falls in, but I try and black out Screaming Citadel the best I can. So, Darth Maul number 5. This one is pretty cool. This is from the Star Wars 2015 run. This is the number 7 variant cover with Obi-Wan. And if you've been watching my channel, I keep saying that a lot because I have done previous haul videos, and if you like Star Wars comics, if you want to see my collection, you have a whole playlist on this channel that you can check out. The guys are okay with me having one playlist for all my comic book talk, where I just kind of show off my covers. But I have the B variant of this, I believe. Just something about Obi-Wan Kenobi on Tatooine in between Revenge of the Sith and New Hope. He has a saber ignited there. It clearly looks dusty. It's just a weathered looking Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I really enjoy that. And it's a different perspective than that other cover I have. That other one you'll remember is kind of like that Hot Toys figure that came out. He's in like the white robes, and he has like a couple lightsabers dangling on his belt, and he's got like that long rifle staff thing. This is a little different. Got the hood up and got the blade going. So a really fun cover there. I really enjoy it. That's one that I probably will put up on my shelf to display, just because I'm a pretty big Ben Kenobi, a big Ben Kenobi fan. But yeah, this is a one-off story. It shows him going through Mos Eisley, I believe. So yeah, cover here by Simone Bianchi as well. So number 7, pretty cool stuff. Rolling right along here. Told you I didn't want to take a whole lot of time. This is one that I like. I mentioned just a moment ago. I really like Shadow Play. I also like Reflection. This is the Star Wars 25. This is the last of Kieran Gillen's Star Wars run. And look at this art. Just look at the cover and the reflection in Vader's helmet, if you can see that. It is stunning. The ships in the reflection of his helmet, I thought that was so well done. Great final issue here as well. You have Aphra in this, and her droid cronies. Vader has been, there's a battle that's been kind of building up for this final issue, and I thought it was a very well executed issue to kind of end this run, with Kieran Gillen and Salvador Larroca, who again are working together now on the main run of Star Wars. They got their start on that the Jedha story arc. So if you liked the Darth Vader original run in this new canon era with Disney, if you like that 2015 Darth Vader run, I think you're really going to enjoy that Star Wars run now, because it's the same writer and artist on that run, but it's Jamie McKelvey here on the cover art. So pretty cool there. Really nice work. There are a couple of single shot comics that have come out in recent years. Since Disney and Lucasfilm and Marvel kind of did this reboot on canon. And I'm going to try not to say again, because that's obnoxious to hear. I will tell you that I think droids are obnoxious. I thought the whole idea of the Droids Unplugged comic book was obnoxious. But then I saw this cover, and I thought to myself, you have to pick that up. You'll regret it if you don't. It almost looks like a mosaic. I mean, it doesn't, but it kind of does. Just bear with me. I might have had a drink before I went to this comic book shop. But it kind of looks like mosaic or abstract. I'm not an artist. Maybe I'm using the wrong terminology. I think it's really gorgeous. What it does is it collects 3 stories in here, and it's all about the droids. So probe droids in the Phantom Menace when they're working for Darth Maul. You have a mission with Luke in R2-D2. And then you have BB-8 working with some Resistance soldiers. So this is it's zany. It's a book that I think it's more for the younger readers. But you know what? It's actually fun. And sometimes I think Star Wars fans, we take ourselves too seriously. It is Star Wars. It's a movie. It's a fandom. And you can like what you like, and you can not like what you don't like. And that's okay. We can all agree and disagree. But we can all respect each other. And I think that's an important thing to do. Cassian and K2, this was a one-shot. And this was supposed to explain how they got connected, how they met up, how that relationship flourished. And I'm going to be honest with you, I really like this cover because obviously it's a Star Destroyer pursuing these two. I thought the story was really lame. Ultimately, you find out that K2SO is really easily programmable. I don't want to ruin it for anyone in case you want to check this out if you can find it. I picked it up for the cover because the story just didn't do it for me, but maybe it excites you. Maybe it actually satisfies your desire to learn what that background story is. I just think there's some elements of the Star Wars story we don't need a background story for, because if it's something like this where it's just, they hacked into the droid and it wasn't very difficult, well then we could have probably just left it alone. It's kind of how I feel about the Han Solo movie right now, but that's okay. They're still going to get my money in May. Anyways, so I kind of explained what this is about. Pepe Larraz is the artist on this one, and it's a really tremendous cover. It's a great cover, great art. I think the story is well written. I just didn't like how simple it all seemed to get K2SO under Cassian's control. So if you like it, if you like those characters, check out this book. Go ahead. I'm not going to recommend it, but go ahead. My final book, and I just want to say thank you so much before I show this book off, because you've been with me in this video for however many long. It's been 20 minutes or however long it's been. But you've also probably helped support this channel since we got started in April. So we try and do new episodes every Monday. It's hard. It's our side project. This isn't what we do for a living. So sometimes we're very consistent, and sometimes we've missed a week. But we try and give you a full episode. We try and slice it down into smaller bites so it's easier for you to consume on the go. We do a lot of comic book talk. We do cosplay content once in a while. We just hit 300 subscribers on our channel, which is super cool. We actually have a contest going on right now. It ends January 14th, 2018. And if you make a video and enter and you follow the 3 simple rules, you can win almost $100 of free stuff. And of course, it's free shipping. If you're going to win something, we're not going to make you pay the shipping for it. But go check that video out right now on the Beyond the Blast Doors YouTube channel, and you can find out how you can enter. And again, it's more than $90 worth of free stuff. We're giving you pop figures, comic book single issues. We're giving you a trade paperback. So it's our first contest. And be sure to give us feedback on that as well after you enter, you know, what you liked about the contest, what you didn't like about the contest. But this is my last book. So Darth Vader #9 from the 2015 run. You have Darth Vader looking out into the dead of space, and all these Star Destroyers are out there, kind of, looks like they're kind of going away from him, or maybe they're just all floating in space on a mission. It's just a cool cover. I love the blues. I love how the coloring of this cover really makes those engines look like they're on. It doesn't look like they're drawn. It looks like there's actually engines, you know, pumping energy. And I'm just obsessed with it. And of course, you know, Vader, you know, looking through the window there, you get a little reflection of him. I think this is one of my favorite covers from that 2015 Darth Vader run. And I was really thankful that I could pick it up because my first issue got damaged. And so I'm replacing this one. And I would say this is a near mint condition comic book. I would say all of mine are I would say very fine to near mint in this comic book haul that I've shown you. But I'm very thankful that this one in particular, just because I don't know. I think obviously Darth Vader seems to be the character that we've explored the most with the new canon. We've gotten him in several of the novels, but if you think about it, Darth Vader has gotten 2 series to him, a 25-issue run starting in 2015, and now he's on his second one now with Charles Soule and Giuseppe doing the artwork there. This is a really beautiful cover, and I'm very thankful to have it, and more thankful that we were able to share some time together on this video. That's my last Star Wars comic book haul for 2017. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I'll try and do better next time. But if you did, give me a thumbs up down below, hit the subscribe button on the channel, and let me know what you want to see in 2018. Do you want me to more so focus on the grading condition of books? Do you want me just to try and get the variety? Do you want to see more non-Star Wars books? You know, the cool thing about how we've kind of organized this playlist on the YouTube channel is that it's mainly Star Wars comics, but it's also other comic book hauls that I've gotten because of our involvement with the comic book community here on YouTube. And if you didn't know, there is a comic book community of hundreds of active users who are making videos daily showing you their most recent comic book hauls or their grail books or the key issues thereafter. So if you're into comic books, be sure you check out the rest of my videos. And obviously that's like, oh yeah, he wants us to give him views. Well, I do. I do want your view. But more importantly, if you look in the comments below, you're going to see all these people that consistently post up videos, and you can follow them and learn about what drives them and their passion with comic book collecting. So that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much. I think what I'm going to do is either today or tomorrow, I am going to pull out my entire box of Star Wars comics that I've gotten from 2017, and I'm just going to pull them all out. I think I'm going to do a live stream. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a live stream, and I'll show off these books, and we can just kind of have a conversation. It'll probably be a couple hours, and that sounds like that could be a lot of fun. That could be a lot of fun. All right, cool. Well, I'm going to get started on that, and we'll see you soon here on Beyond the Blast Doors.